This is Lou. I'm trying something a little new, not much. I've been trying to set up this iPad so that it's straight, da da da. And I put it on the floor. I put it on this, I guess it would be like a coffee table. And I have my copy. Maybe I should give an advertisement. I do not know how to pronounce the name. Geisel? I don't know. All I know is my daughter works there and they make guns, rifles, they have army contracts, etc., etc. Very expensive guns. Yes, my hair is awful thin. And I keep ripping it out. There it is right there in my glasses. The glasses get right there and then I pull my hair. So I need to do something about that. I'm sorry about all the glare. I'm in my room, which was Kevin's room, but Kevin's gone off to the army. And who's to say where his room will be? He's every which way. It was nice to be able to spend some time with him. I gotta do something about that. Geez, my hair already thins out enough. I don't need to be pulling it out in my glasses, do I? So I need something soft. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just know I haven't done any videos really for a while, and I thought I should get on here and say, hey, let's have a wonderful day. What does that got on the back of it? Geisel, now I'm saying it wrong. Automatics. Geisel Automatics. Now I have my glasses off, so I can't really read it very good. Pennsylvania, USA. I know I can't read that word either, but anyway, they make excellent guns that cost a bunch of money. I don't know exactly how much, but I know I checked into it a while back and it was like crazy. Crazy, man. But maybe if it's gonna protect you and save your life and stuff. I'm on the floor, so I'm seeing under the bed. There's stuff under there. I know. Cheers. So, I don't really know. I know that somewhere I have a bunch of topics, and that's what I need. Is something to talk about, right? Give me a subject. And I was talking the other day about, I'm not sure where that's at, but I was talking about opening your mouth and basically bearing your testimony. We're told to bear our testimony. And we do that at church. But what you guys got to realize is we're supposed to be bearing it to everybody, not just those people who are at church. We need to let the people know. I do. I got up one time and bore my testimony at church, and I did that for my dad. He didn't ask me to, but he always would ask me to if I wanted to. That would be his wish, okay? So I got up and I bore my testimony, but the main thing was my hair needs to be, I'm going to start wearing wigs. It might look a lot better. Um, so the point I was trying to make, those of you who do have a testimony of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we got to get brave. But what you do is you don't go out preaching on the corner. You don't go out, blah, blah, blah. But when the moment arises take the bull by the horns. People are out there waiting for our knowledge, and we need to share it with them, okay? You just got to get over the fear, and you don't be pushy, and you don't just start preaching. But whenever a moment arises that you can open your mouth and say what you believe, you don't have to even say that it's the church, okay? You just tell them what you believe about things. And then, they're going to say, okay, well, so why do you believe that? And what's your religion? And la, la, la. Well, be prepared. Just be prepared spiritually. And have this belief. And I'm telling you, it works. It's true. You do need to know what you're talking about to a point, You can steer them in the right direction. There's so many people out there that need love, that don't have love. Their parents might not even had love, so they didn't know how to show love. Or maybe they're not with their real parents. But, don't get upset with me when I said that. I'm talking about bloodline, okay? Because family and friends are synonymous. If you have real friends, then they're your family. We have our core group. We have our family at home. And especially those of us in the church, if you're blessed with a family that loves each other, hold on to that. But we need to spread the love of Christ. And the opportunity is always there. Sometimes we don't know it. I've said it before. I was going to say tell the Lord, but you got to tell yourself, but also tell the Lord that you're willing. You're willing and able to open your mouth. And what you do is you be prepared spiritually. And God will send them to you. People will show up in your life that need you. And you do have to be willing. Just be willing, and you have it in your mind that God will help you. That word God, a lot of people have a problem with that word God. The higher power. The Great Spirit. Okay, Jesus Christ is that Great Spirit that was the God of the Old Testament, is the God of the world. Yeah, Satan's having his little heyday. And I did read somewhere that Satan was the God of this world. He's not. I'm not quite sure where I read that, if that was in Mormon doctrine or what, but it was doctrine. But it's the point that Satan is allowed to run rampant, to run loose, to get to cause trouble, to do everything that he should not be doing. My hair is driving me crazy. I know. Go wash it. Well, some of the things I've read lately, I shouldn't be washing my hair too awful much, because when you're losing your hair, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be pulling it out. I've got to get on the stick. There's a lot of things out there they say you can do for your hair. There's even castor oil shampoo. And I'm not sure what kind of shampoo we just bought. We bought some that me and Jess are going to use. Hopefully it'll be fine. So, where was I? I got all distracted out of one little thing. Headed off for my hairbrush. Nevertheless, okay, I was talking about opening up your mouth. And I am not saying that I'm perfect in any way, that I always do what I should be doing. But I do know from past experiences that there are people looking. They are looking for answers, and we have them. So we need to share them. Even in the simplest way, you'd be talking about life and death and what goes on after death, and what do you believe? Do you realize that you're going to go back to that God who gave you life, your creator? I guess if you've lived a harmful life, you might be a little scared to go be meeting him. I call it a him because it's going to be Jesus. Jesus Christ is our judge. And I know, I know that God the Father, which is Jesus Christ's Father also, has a wife. We have a mother in heaven. We were not made in I really don't know. I was going to say in a test tube, like that song in the year 2525. And that was 500 years in the future. I just couldn't think at the moment. Sometimes my math skills really suck. We all get used to that calculator, but there are also other ways. I've just started rounding. It makes it a lot easier. So you round down or you round up. You don't worry about all the details. But, okay, so like you're in a conversation with somebody, or maybe it's a group of somebody's, and they're all discussing life and death and who died recently and how much they miss their loved ones. And we know that we're going to go back to that God who gave us life. And guess what? All those people who died, they did too. Went back to that God who gave them life. So, like I said about my dad dying, I haven't mourned for him. I have been happy for him because I know he's finally back home with his wife and his mother and his brothers and all the people that he loved that have gone on are there. There's things going on that we don't know, and that means in heaven too, people. You're not laying down in that grave. You leave your body and your spirit goes back to where you lived before this life, going home. And I know that they got a lot going on. They're not laying in that grave dead, resting for eternity. Nuh-uh. No. I know it all seems like a fantasy. But we came from somewhere, didn't we? You think that this marvelous person that you have housing your spirit, it's marvelous. That's the right word. All the things that we can do, all the things that this little brain in our head tells our body to do every day, to function, to get up and walk, to move our little fingers, to talk. The head's thinking and it's coming out your mouth. And then your eyes, and just all the different things that we can do. And then you look around yourself. Everything begets itself. We did not come from apes. It's so ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. Excuse my mouth. We were created in the image of God. Which means, our makeup, the things that make us work. The human being. That's the big deal. We're human. You're only human. But guess what? One day you have the opportunity to become like God in every way. That's the purpose. That's his whole purpose. We came down here to experience life with a mortal body. But as part of our learning, as part of our training for what's coming. And this is really just the second part. We had our pre-existence, and now we're here with the mortal existence, okay? And it's not always a good thing, because the nature of man is carnal, evil. I don't know if I should put the word evil there, but we're susceptible, and we have to make choices. And we need to come up from the fall of Adam and Eve. I know there's a bunch of people all blaming them and stuff, but they did what they were supposed to do. They did the needful thing. They didn't know about sex. They didn't know how to create life. I think they probably figured it out. Of course, then again, they were taught. Adam and Eve were taught by God. No, he was mad at them and he kicked him out of the garden, but he still talked to them. They just had to work for everything. They didn't get to go up to that tree and just partake anytime they wanted. And I'm not talking about the tree of knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The way I understand it is that Satan told them that's what they were supposed to do. If you want to be like God, you want to know things about God and stuff, you got to eat from that tree. They call it beguiled. Satan beguiled Eve, and then Eve gave the fruit to Adam because they were going to be separated. If she didn't have him partake of the fruit, she was going to get kicked out and he weren't. Kind of, messes up the whole plan, right? It wasn't long ago that I did a video on time. God's time versus our time. Okay. One day to God, where he is 1,000 years of our time. So when he created the earth, it was Jesus, and then a lot of us helped. Okay, I don't know exactly how that goes, but I know Jesus is the one who created the physical parts. Because we are spiritual children of our mother and father in heaven, and so is he. But he is the God of this earth, or will be, if he's not already. Satan's allowed to do what he's doing, but you can call on God to save you. You can call on God when you are worried. And I used to be plagued. I was plagued with nightmares. And some of them were to do with Satan. And I had been taught in seminary how to get rid of him. And I used every ounce of that I could muster up in my dreams to get rid of him. I had a dream one night that we were having the Last Supper, and it was in the basement. And I don't even know that I had a basement at that time. It's just in my dream I had a basement. I was married. I got married awful young, and I was still taking seminary because I still went back and graduated. My whole senior year, I was married. But I'm sure my husband thought I was just crazy in the head because of the dreams I had and the things I thought. But yeah, there was a Last Supper in the basement, but it wasn't Jesus, it was Satan. He was emulating our Savior. There's a big old plan and a big old scheme of things that we fit into. But there's neat things about the church. Things you guys need to find out about. And it's hard to describe to anybody. But priesthood. The priesthood is very, 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 very important. And only the men get to have it. And if things are the way they're supposed to be, you have a family unit. The man has the priesthood to protect his family. He can give his family blessings. When they're sick, he can give a father's blessing. And it doesn't have to even be when you're sick. You know, like say you need some extra help. Or you're going off to college, or you're going off to the war, you're going somewhere. You have your father give you a blessing. But you have to have the priesthood for that. You can't just do that. And then, like what I was taught about getting rid of the devil, or Satan, because, and it's actually not the devil or not Satan, it was all of them. 1/3 of the host of heaven. That is a massive amount. Those 1/3 of the host of heaven left with Satan. Did not get to come down here and have a body. They got to come down here and mess with us. So it's not just one taking care of all that crap out there. There's a bunch of them. It's a little bit scary when you think about it. But like I said, align yourself with God. Be bosom buddies, so to say. Have a relationship with your Father in heaven and with Jesus. And you'll have all the protection you need. Okay? And I'll say it again. If you're looking, even if you're not looking, but if you're looking especially, you need to find the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and become a saint yourself. Because really that's what it is. We are trying to do good. We're trying to live our life like Jesus. What would Jesus do? That's a good question to ask. God will tell you, you know, I started to say God is a vengeful God. When it comes time, people will pay the price for the evilness that they have done. If they haven't repented. I'm not sure how that part goes, you know, but you need to repent. Repent ye of those things that you have done wrong. And if there's any way you can make up for it, you need to do that. So the steps of repentance. First, realizing you did something wrong. Second, being sorry. Feeling remorse. And then I'm kind of shady on the last two. I know there was 4. It's like, okay, realize, feel remorse, try to make up for it. You want to talk to the people that you did wrong to. But, if that's not possible or if that wouldn't do any good, I don't know. I think I'd be talking to the Lord about it. And I'm going to have to do that. I've repented before, but I didn't lay out my sins each one by one. But I did go in and meet with the branch president, which is equivalent to a bishop. But really, he didn't want to hear all my woes, all the things I had done, type of deal. He just wanted to know that I wanted to repent. So I didn't list them all. And then later on you realize, oh, I forgot one. No. So the main thing is realize, feel bad, feel sorry for what you've done. Ask the Lord for forgiveness, and then don't do it anymore. And that's not always so easy. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation and we don't know how we got there. But there you are, right back again where you were before. I'm not doing that anymore. And that rhymed. No, I hope that I don't do any of those things anymore. I just want to find my man, my forever and ever and ever companion. Mutual respect, mutual love and caring and empathy and sharing. I guess I'm looking for my best friend, but not a girlfriend. I want my mate. And then I want us to go out and do great things together. So we need to be of a like mind, believe in God, believe in the power of prayer, and believe there's a grand scheme, and this life is not the end, but the beginning of a new. And actually, I can't even say that, because when Jesus Christ comes again, the second coming, he's going to be in the sky. Everybody that lives on this earth will see him at the same time. And it won't just be him. It'll be concourses of angels coming with him. And then what's going to happen is those that are worthy will be lifted up. He's going to come in the sky, and us down here are going to be lifted up to meet him, except for the bad guys. They're going to get destruction laid on them, because this earth is going to go through a big old change. I think that's when it's going to happen too, when he comes again. There'll be great destruction going on down here. The way I understand it anyway, we will be lifted up and watch the destruction below. Paradox, is that the right word? Parents have to be a lot of things. And I don't remember exactly what I was going to say. Oh. Discerning. Being able to tell what's true and what isn't. It's not always so easy. And some people are really good liars. And some people are just downright evil and don't mind tearing up people's families. They don't mind breaking up good marriages. They don't mind taking the job that was meant for you. They They don't mind sleeping their way up the ladder, no matter whose family they're toying with. I watched that. I watched that happen. I didn't have the ability to do anything about it, but I worked in a factory with a lot of women. This woman came in and started basically doing my job, and then she was cheating. When she found a head that worked really good, she kept it, and she took it home with her. She would not let anybody else have it. We were supposed to put the heads back up when it was time for our shift to be over, and then everybody starts anew. And sometimes those heads don't work. So if you want to get a good quota, you want to keep your good head, right? But she was also in the office sleeping with somebody. I don't know what happened to him, but she died on vacation. She got run over. She was laying out in the sand or something, I don't know, on a beach, and got run over. Now, did she get her up in Cummins? Because what happened was 2 families broke up because of them. Him and her left their significant others and joined together. That happens a lot, and especially with the people you work with. My first husband left me for the secretary at work. Oh, he could talk to her. She understood. Yeah, well, you can always talk to strangers about things. Anyway, he left me with a brand new baby and went to be with her and become the father to her 2 children. And I don't know if she left hers to be with mine or if she was already separated or what, but yeah, we work with the opposite sex. We spend a little bit too much time with them, and the next thing you know, you think you're all in love, when your real love is at home, or she's at her job, and then coming home and taking care of your little ass. That's what I did. I begged to go to work with the condition that I did everything that I was supposed to do, taking care of the house and this and that, So my work was never done. Ow, I gotta straighten out my leg. Jeez. Anyway, you get up and you go to work by 7 and you come home and you clean up the frickin' house and make a really good meal. Make sure you're all clean, and to what? Someone who does not appreciate you. What an ass. I really would like to slap you. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just telling you, people, be careful. Be careful when you go trying to choose a mate. I don't know that I'm doing necessarily the right thing, but I've certainly got myself involved. But it's not something that's tearing somebody else apart. And I need my little microwave thingy. I need to go heat up my coffee. Anyway, I wanted to get on here and say hey. And I really didn't know what I would talk about. And it'll be interesting to see if you see that glare that I see. I can see the blinds. The sun's coming through the blinds behind me, and I can see that on my screen. I hope you guys can't. And I hope you guys had a lovely holiday season. It's the holiday season. Do, do, do. I don't know the words. Oh. Life is going to be beautiful sooner or later. You guys need to remember that. my little Kevin. He misses the family so much. I'm glad he has a family to miss. We have to look at things in a different light sometimes, you know. I'm not sure what made him make that decision. I think he said something about maybe college, because they are promised all these benefits. So I told him, you just need to concentrate on all that's good, take advantage of what you can, schooling, knowledge, and also realize that these people that you are put together with become your friends, and then they become your family. More than the family you got at home, you have family elsewhere. That he was so sad when he left. We hugged and hugged and hugged. And that was wonderful. It was wonderful, but it was sad because he was crying hard and hugging tight. He misses his family. And I haven't been around, but I told him, and I'm trying to tell all my family, there may come a time when you're going to want your grandma. And all you got to do is turn on YouTube. Get on my channel. Go over all my videos. Some are probably not worth much, but I think a lot of them are. And if you want words of advice from your grandma, I got a lot of them on here, don't I? Anyway. I'm so glad he got to come home. He came home for Christmas. So he was here before I was, but I got here Christmas night. My daughter came and picked me up. But anyway, I got to see him for about a week or so. When he wasn't doing other things, but it was nice to be loved. So, I had that stupid song in my head. Hoop-dee-doo. Da-da-da-da. I don't even know what song it was, but it was one I was singing not very long ago. And I'm a tired girl. I went to bed at a decent hour last night, but I'm not really sure what the hour was. I think around midnight, probably. And 5:45 this morning, I'm awake. And then I can't go back to sleep. So, if you go to bed at 2 and you still get the same amount of sleep, because I'm going to wake up. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to wake up after so many hours. But I wanted to get on here and do a video, so I thought that would be a good idea. So for I know, I should go take a shower and make myself look beautiful. I'll do better. Not sure when, but I'll do better. Just depends, If I do get to be with my fella, I will be much more motivated to do something. I better be, because, there's going to be a lot to do. I know it. I hope for that. I hope for my right companion, the one that we can share these goals that I have You know, that mission. The mission to spread the love, to spread the joy, to spread the word, which is Jesus Christ, right? He is the Word. You know what? I didn't turn up my stupid thing. But I think the other day, oh, even though I didn't turn it up, I think you could still hear me. So just remember, if you can't hear me, stick in your earbuds, and that works pretty good. So I think what I'll do, it's been 40 minutes, 41 minutes, is I think I'll take a break. Really didn't know what I was going to say anyway. And it's Pete, let's see, Pete and repeat. I need to find good things, good things. A message just came up. I get a lot of messages from, my subscriptions. I have subscriptions, so there's some cancer doctors that'll send me messages, and not sending me particular messages, but I'm subscribed, so I get a message when they have a video. Just like you guys, if you are subscribed to me, will get a message saying I put up a video. I'm not really good at hashtagging. I think that's what I need to do, is start going back over my videos and hashtagging. And I hope that it's not too late, see. Not quite sure how all that goes. You know, you put your video up. I was looking at some things, and they were saying if you put it up at the right time, it'll get a lot more views. And then hashtagging is very important, because then certain people will be led to your videos because of what's going on in your video. Like one lady said to me, she said, I want to know why you're on my channel. Not my channel, her news feed or whatever. I appeared in her feed. And I told her, I don't know why, except for that maybe, I'm pretty sure someone's watching, and they're knowing that we're like-minded, and so they're sharing my video with you. And maybe it's AI, the intelligence, the artificial intelligence, a computer, because I don't know how someone could be listening to all them videos and then putting them into the right places, you know? It's amazing, pretty amazing. So if I show up, it's probably important. You know, I don't think they're just sending me out to random people. There's something about my videos that coincides. I'm not sure how to call it, but you know, something that you are like-minded about. And you never know, because I got a lot of different things that I feel. A lot of things. You know, marijuana, that's one of the biggies. There's good and bad with the marijuana situation. And there's a lot bad with the marijuana situation as far as it being illegal. Should not be illegal. Should not be hiring all these policemen to go out and antagonize and cause trouble, because you guys don't understand, don't believe we should be able to have that when you're doing yourself a disservice and humanity. I'm serious, humanity, because it's all over the world. And there's those who love it, and then there's those who fight against it, and so there's a war. There's a war going on everywhere. Do you think you got the right to do that? To take someone else's rights away because you don't like it? Because it's not evil. The evil thing to do with marijuana is you guys trying to keep it away from people. You guys keeping it illegal to where we can't find it. You got someone who loves something and then you take it away from them, they can't have it. That makes them be a sneaky person trying to get it. And they spend all their energy and their money after it. When if you would let it be legal, you wouldn't have all this organized crime to do with it, because we wouldn't need them, would we? Besides being able to grow it yourself, it should be cheap. Literally, it should be cheap. And if you understood how that worked, you people who are so worried about your businesses and you're not wanting to share, first of all, the demand is there. If they just let it be legal and let it be free, you can still have your businesses and you can still have your rules for it being safe. You know, it is good to know when someone's got some crap out there. They got mold in their stuff. You shouldn't be having that. I mean, Colorado does do really good. They inspect things and they make sure they're all right, and then they put out a warning. This came from such and such place and it's bad type of deal. But the whole point is, way before it became legal, it was running rampant everywhere. I mean, people were looking for it, people were getting it, people were paying for it, but the problem is it takes up so much time. It takes up a lot of time. I know because I was there, people, okay? There's something you want, and here, where can you find it? And then you got all this paranoia crap that goes with it because it's illegal. And the only ones really doing good is organized crime. And then what are they doing? I offer you protection. How much money? You know, I just have a hard time believing it, but I've heard $80,000 for insurance in Colorado for being in business with marijuana. And people have been killed because there's deliveries made and people take it. They kill you and take it. Just like, you know, when they made cigarettes so spendy. I mean, you could go buy them, but who could afford them? Semi-trucks were being stolen that were full of cigarettes. I mean, you know, there's just... But let's get back to organized crime. You guys keep it illegal, and they make out like a bandit. And that is the right pun. They are bandits and murderers. Not everybody. I'm talking about the big wigs keeping it illegal. They do that on purpose. Drives prices up. Oh, and let's don't forget about job security. You got all the policemen. Don't forget about the cars they drive and the gas put in them and the bullets and the guns and every, like what? I don't know if it's 4 years, but every 2 to 4 years they get a brand new fucking car. What's the deal with that? You guys are idiots. We are idiots. I was on a roll, but my roll stopped. But the point is, there's just so much to do with this law. Yeah, we got several states, maybe half the states have it legal. But with their legality, they've also imposed a lot of rules and regulations. So you can still get in trouble. So you got the guy that wants to sell, wants to do good in business, but he's got so many rules and regulations that he's got to follow. And he's got to pay for insurance, which is protection, right? Sound familiar? Anyway, myself, I wish that you people would realize the importance of legalizing it and making it free for everybody to grow it, process it, sell it, and smoke it. What's the harm? if you grow some and you sell your excess so that you can pay your bills. No, it's all opposite. Take people's kids away from them, throw them into foster care, put them into psychological problems, let them grow up with strangers. And you know, in foster care, there's several kids there, and they're probably all from similar backgrounds. It's enough of that. I need to write a big old paper on that. But it should be legal. We should not have the right to take away someone else's rights. Meaning, first of all, it's good medicine. Not just for cancer, which that should be a biggie, but I mean, the psychological part of it. It mellows you out. It calms you down. Except for when you can't find it, can't have it, then that's a problem. And also, you shouldn't have to spend all your money on it. Not when you can grow it. And I'm not saying it's easy to grow, because it's not. Unless you get back to basics like it used to be. You know, a weed grows, right? They've got all these fertilizers and this and that and the other thing so that you can have good weed. I've got my hair all at least I have some hair. I must remember that. But it is thin. And that's another thing that makes me mad. You know, when there's things to do with the medicine they're giving you, they should tell you. They should tell you what's up, what's coming down the pike. Not real sure that I'm happy about the things that I'm learning that they didn't bother to tell me. You got to get online and do all that reading and studying and stuff. And a lot of us are just not going to do that. I mean, I can do it a little bit, but talk about making my brain go crazy. And then they put in such little fine print. And then they use such big frickin' words that you don't understand. Gives me a headache. So, that's enough of all that. Need something happy to end on. I was going to end earlier. So I got to go downstairs and heat up my coffee and actually I'm feeling it's either sweat or what happens is I sweat and then I get the chill. The chill comes along and freezes me. And I know there's a bunch of women out there that understand that. So, happy trails to... Listen at that. I was going to sing you a song. How crazy was that? Happy trails to you until we meet again. My voice really sucks. It used to be really good. Meaning it sounded good. I didn't yodel and go up and down and all that stuff. Sometimes I'll hold here and it'll, for some reason, and I have to lower my key or whatever. I do not know. Lower the notes. So, I don't know that I want to put these on. I can see. And I don't know what I want to read to you guys, if anything. I just need to remember some things I want to talk about, because there's a lot of stories I've got that I could tell. You know, like when I met Merle Spino. Merle Spino is dead. And he was what they call a half-breed. But he lived with the Indians. But he was, I think he must have been like Irish or something. He had like a red dark hair, but it was more red. but he was an Indian. And when I met him, he told me some stories. I don't know if I can conjure them back up. It's been so long. But it was like cousins were killing each other. And when you're talking about savages, these people are savages. And then before all was said and done, he was killed himself. But see, what was happening was the night that I met him, I think that's what it was, the night that I met him, he was supposed to be somewhere else. And then what happened was the people that were there got killed. So he would have been killed. But later on, the way I understand it, I mean, I skid around, okay? I have dreams. I had dreams. A lot of dreams back then, but I had dreams that come true. Sometimes they were just symbolic type things that I would... So like I'll tell you a dream I had about him. We weren't together. We were not together. I mean, I tend to hang on to things like feelings. But anyway, let's see about the dream. In the dream, I was in a bar, and I looked up at the TV screen. It was this little screen up there, and there was a news story about a guy who'd been stabbed to death. And then I found out later that it was true. Merle Spino's best friend, or maybe his family member, I don't really know who, they were out fishing. They did a lot of fishing for salmon. And this was up past White Salmon, Klickitat County, up the mountain. But anyway, they did a lot of fishing for salmon. And they were out fishing, and I guess Merle said that he wanted to know what it felt like to be stabbed to death. And the person that was with him in the boat stabbed him to death. Fulfilled his wish. Now, I don't know if they were on drugs, what type of drugs or whatever, because that seems to me like a power of suggestion thing. But it was just weird. It was weird to have that dream and then to have that reality. And I don't know if my dream was happening at the same time or if it happened like in advance or what, because we weren't together. I mean, I ran across somebody that knew him that told me. So strange things are out there. And especially, your own family. Can't trust your own family, but that's the way it is. When I was reading to you out of the Book of Mormon, people, Lehi and his 4 sons, and then a small group of people, because there's going to be a wife, and there's another family that have daughters to marry his sons, and so there's a few people that are going away from Jerusalem. That's what starts the Book of Mormon, okay? That's what the Book of Mormon is. It starts that history. There's more to it, and I'm feeling kind of weird, but the point is, the 2 older brothers, Laman and Lemuel, hated the younger Nephi, one who was tight with God, okay, and tight with his dad, Lehi. But the 2 older sons were so rebellious and so horrid, and there was just like a split. The Lamanites versus the Nephites, which are the people of your tribe. They became savages. They hated their brothers. They hated them, and they killed. they killed lots and lots of people before it's all done. You've got great nations and stuff, but I read to you out of, see, this is the Book of Mormon, and it's got a lot of books in it, okay? And then in the bottom, in the back of the Book of Mormon, towards the back, the end, there's a book called the Book of Mormon. It's called Mormon. And then there's a book called Moroni. Well, that tells of massive killing and annihilation. The Lamanites annihilated the Nephites because of sheer numbers. Because of sheer numbers, they were trodden down. If you want to read that story or have me read it to you, just put it in your search bar. Put Mormon, Mormon, read by Lou, Lou, on Lou's Touch. And Lou's is Lou apostrophe S, which is possessive. Lou's Touch. If you put that in your search bar on YouTube, it should show up. And I did each one by chapter. Let me see. Mormon had 9 chapters. Moroni had 10, I believe. And it tells about this annihilation and what they were doing. It made me cry. Literally reading it, I broke out and cried. So horrible what people can do. Anyway, I need to get off here and quit doing that. I'm not laughing about that. I'm just kind of laughing because you never know where I'm going to go. It's a really sad thing. I mean, they gave weapons of war to every man, woman, and child to fight the enemy. It was horrible. And we don't want that to happen here. But you know, it can. We need to try to control our environment the best way we can. We need to try to stay in the light. We need to remember that all these people are our brothers and sisters. And see, it gets down to you got to fight for your life, fight for survival, kill or be killed. And then all that stuff is doing is building up hate, building up more hate, more killing. But that was right here in America, right here in this promised land. A lot of bad things happen, great destruction. Great harm for your spirit too. The things that they must have gone through, I do not want to experience. So, really, if you haven't done that, you should do that. Write it down. Mormon, Mormon, read by Lou, Readlou, read by Lou, on Lou's Touch. Start with Mormon, and then Moroni, and then Ether. I've read all 3 of those books completely on my channel, chapter by chapter, usually, most of the time. Anyway, I got to get up and get busy. I feel like going back to bed now. I just couldn't go back to sleep. So I scrolled for a while, checked each of my different sites out that I go to, being Facebook, being YouTube, being. My fella. Anyway, you guys take care. I'll be back. I promise. I swear. The swear rhymes with care. I got a lot to do. I started unpacking yesterday. I got two suitcases unpacked. They were small ones. But now I guess I need to attack a big one. And what I really got to do is find all my files that I brought. There's some important files. I hope I got them all. I think I do. In other words, like my deeds, in case I sell something. My title to my car, and different things. I've got to get it all organized. In the meantime and in between time, you guys have a great day. And I hope to too. But I got to go take care of myself before I go. See, this is for my headache. And then when I take it off, I do okay for a little while, and then I start with another headache, so back on it goes. Oh. I am. I'm tired. So, here's hoping we all get what we want. Here's hoping that what we want is what we need. I'm trying to figure out how to get my car here without it costing an arm and a leg. Wish I could remember the people who used to haul my dogs, because they go across the United States and they haul everything. When they came to my house to get a couple of dogs to take, where was I? I think I was in Kansas. I was in the big house in Kansas. Anyway, when they came to pick up the dogs, they were also carrying an airplane. It was a little airplane, and I don't know what the trip was. If it was like, I don't know how it could have been folded. But, sorry. They hauled everything, was the point. And they might have been really fair. I can't remember. That was so long ago. But I need to look up transport and see, because it could be a lot better to have my car brought to me. I wanted to find somebody to drive across country with me because I can't stay awake. I think it would be too dangerous for me to drive by myself. And expensive. In other words, I've got to get an airplane ticket back home and then drive. And then, not just that, if I drive with a friend, then I've got to pay for their flight home. So that's 2 airplane tickets. And so I don't know. When you look at it like that way, it makes it a little different. Meaning, how much money would I spend? How much would I save? And what's my life worth? And yeah, my daughter thinks I should just sell that car and get another one here. And that might be the easiest thing to do. I don't know. I like my little car, so I'm not really wanting to do that. Sorry. My goodness, I'd be tired. I'm going back to bed. Fred? Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll probably be back. Maybe today. Bye.